Hey, it's Fat Steve. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. Should I title this Hasbro Doesn't Give a Shit? Okay, so let me explain what's going on here. Don't read anything into the figures in the background. I just put them up. But I was looking, and I got really close because I was helping Hella Dope Toys clear out their stuff. I was getting really close to completing the arc, and so I just decided to get Tote. And then once I had that, it was like, I started looking at the arc and I was like, something's off about it. So what I ended up doing was I got out my 1/18 scale one here, and this is the 1/12 one, of course, that's the build artifact. And when I started looking, it was like, wait a minute. Now, at first you don't see anything, looks pretty okay. But then when you start doing some scrutiny, you can see a little bit, the eagles don't really line up like they do on this one. Now another one is, and this was a big one, and I really didn't notice it till I had them side by side. Yes, I know, all the figures' faces are going to melt off. So, if you look carefully inside this version of the Ark of the Covenant, you will see that there is sand. The dust, it is painted. There's paint on that. Alright? When you look in this one, the texture's there, but no paint. Why? Oh, cost-cutting measure. Okay, so this is the big one I noticed. And when I realized this, I was like, whoa. Okay, let me see. You see that? How thin that plastic is? And then look at this one. It's not. And I mean, you can notice it. I mean, just tap the plastic. Hear that? I mean, it's obviously cheaper plastic. And you would think 10 years later they would have a better idea on this. This really blew me out of the water. I was like, wow, this is so cheap, and this actually has a certain level of quality. And you'd think a smaller scale they would go for lower quality. Yeah. At the minimum they try something. And even the dino is surprised. Really? That's weird. But I don't know, I just want to do a little video and kind of spot like that and see and show. I don't know, it really amazes me because this was Hasbro at their best. Now this line failed a lot. I mean, and that was partially because it was mismanaged. And I can definitely agree to that. I can bend to that. But this line could have been managed better, and it wasn't. I mean, that thing with the plastic, and I'm going to test something right now. First time I ever thought about it. Nope. With the 2 layers, that does not work. So it's not because, they wanted you to have a glow effect. Somebody's going to say, oh, you can put a little LED light in there, but, nah, it's not, it doesn't work. And it's not going to work. Sorry, dude. I mean, the only way you would have it glowing anyway is if the top was off of it. And that wouldn't matter. See? So, I mean, I can accept some of this because it's a building artifact. There's some cracks here. That's going to happen. But the way the plastic is just so different, and you can tell it's so much cheaper. And man, it blew me out of the water when I came to the realization. I was just really shocked how durable this feels. I mean, This is harder plastic, but it's also thicker plastic. And I mean, yeah, you can break it. I mean, you know, you can break anything. But this is, it's so thin it could crack. I mean, you could just crack it with your thumb, it feels like. You know, I don't know if you heard a little stress on it when I just picked it up, but there was. I'm not sure how this mic picks up, because it's weird. Because it picks up the things you don't want it to pick up, and it picks up the things, and it doesn't pick up the things you do want to pick up. I never understand this mic. Part of the reason why I've been doing ADR so long, but, you know. Anyhow, I mean, I just think this is a good example of the disconnect of Hasbro right now. I mean, and I'm sure someone will argue, and I'm sure someone will make a big fuss, but at the end of the day, this is much cheaper than this. And this is half the size. It's less, well, it's not half the size, but it's smaller. But this should have been a banger. And it's not. And that's pretty much what I got to say. I just wanted to point all these things out because it was like, when I realized it, I was like, wow. That's something. Okay, that'll wrap up this edition of Infinite Realms. Don't forget to do all the YouTube stuffs. And take care.